what he said.
So he literally said, literally word for word, is if we were struck first, we would have too many losses and would not be able to respond quickly or swiftly enough. We had intel that fucking Iran was moving to strike and that Israel was going to go.
No. That's not what he said. He said they had intel that if Iran was struck first, in retaliation they would strike our bases, and that they had reason to believe that Iran would be struck.
He said that
Tell
after
me, Tell me which country. Tell me which country would be the one that was going to strike Iran.
Literally, he said that. He said two different things twice. He said,
"No, I have the full quote. I could send it to Set, and he could read it off, and we could go back, and you could see it."
We just listened to it. We just listened to it, and I broke it down.
I know. Tell me where I'm wrong.
The same way you're saying it, and you're misrepresenting what he said purposely
to
make a
Set was exactly right, dude. Set was exactly right. I wasn't watching that part, but if he said it the way I'm saying it, he was exactly right.
Hey, Set, what did Marco Rubio say?
What when it comes to what was it, why we struck Iran, or was it the danger that we had to strike Iran, or else we didn't strike Iran first? Then if they struck us first, then we'd have been too damaged to even hit them back.
But why would they have struck us? What was his assessment there?
Because Iran already said out loud, and I mean, I think Rubio also said this, that if we attack them, they'll attack our bases.
No. Not if we do. And this is specifically what Rubio said. He said it's if Israel does. Yeah. If a different country did. So Israel is determining whether we are not in a war. I want to get that through to the audience. Israel, a country that most listeners are not from, is determining whether we are not actively engaged in a war. Let that sink in.
That's not
let
what
Monty
he
respond
said.
to that, and then I'll.
Can I fucking respond, or are you just gonna hijack it?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
He did not say that. He said if we were hit before we preempted an attack, that we would suffer casualties that would not allow us to respond in kind. Then he said there was intel suggesting that, and there was also intel suggesting that there was going to be a preemptive strike. And if there was a preemptive strike, fucking Iran would attack our bases. We were going to strike first. That is what he said. Then he said, regardless of if Israel fucking was going to do this attack, this needed to happen a long time ago. Did you hear that part, or did your selective hearing turn off then?
No. I heard that part, and I knew that part.
Now, before you answer that, shout out to TF2 Cut Content. He said the United States is a failed country. I disagree. We have our problems, but we're not failed. And shout out to my man Drum King. He says, I kind of think this may be a distraction from the Epstein files. Trust me, everybody's saying that one. And some would agree.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
Really? Well, I somewhat agree, but I mean, let's be real. This is a bit more important because, people are dying now.
Yeah, and this was in the works before anything to do with that was in the works. But
I mean,
give me 1 second because I wrote Rubio's quote down. Can I send you on Discord exactly what he said?
We don't need the quote. We have the video.
Well, we can go to the video to see if I'm right or wrong. But are you okay if I send you exactly what he said?
Sure, why not?
Okay, real quick. I will be right back.
All right. Meantime,
just play the video, and then I'll pause.
They did it through the blood of our people. Car bombs in Beirut, rocket attacks on our ships, murders at our embassies, roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan, funded and armed by Iranian Quds Force and IRGC killers. My generation of veterans carry the names of brothers who never came home. Brothers butchered by Iranian-backed roadside bombs and well-armed militias, thousands of our own. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their Ayatollah and his death cult. It took the 47th president, a fighter who always puts America first, to finally draw the line after 47 years of Iranian belligerence. He reminded the world, as he has time and time again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you. President Trump has also been very consistent. Crazy regimes like Iran, hell-bent on prophetic Islamist delusions, cannot have nuclear weapons.
Do you agree
It's
with that,
common
Sid?
sense. Many have said it.
Do you agree with that, Sid? Islamist delusions.
Wait, do I agree that?
Do you agree
Do I
that
agree?
if someone kills Americans, they should be hunted down and killed?
Yeah. Here's another thing I agree with. I don't think that a country in the Middle East that is belligerent, that attacks all of their neighbors, that is often rogue, should ever be allowed to have nuclear weapons. And that's why I am right now calling for Israel to give up their nuclear weapons. Can anyone else here agree with that?
Oh,
Yes,
shit, I do.
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. All 90s.
Okay, so Monty,
two things can be right at the same time.
Monty,
Things can be right at the same time.
you are calling on Israel to give up their nuclear weapons right now.
Seth, have I not done that before?
I don't know if you have. You say I'm here all the time, but
I'm consistent with that. I think is the fuck with Israel and the fuck with Iran. I'm glad they're fucking shooting at each other.
Right.
Except we're involved on behalf of Israel.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. We got to give the little guy a little bit of chance before they get annihilated.
Damn.
They're littler than Iran, but Israel has nukes and Iran doesn't. So.
And has Israel used their nukes in Iran or anywhere for that matter?
By the grace of God, they haven't.
By the grace of God. Got you. Okay.
Yeah. But you think they should give them up, right? Because it's such a concern.
Absolutely. They violated the non-proliferation treaty. They got them against international law. I'm not a big proponent of international law, but I don't think Israel should have nuclear weapons. However, I can say in the same breath that Israel has never used nuclear weapons on an enemy.
Has Iran?
Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons.
Have they preemptively used their ballistic missiles on Israel without being attacked first?
No, but they've used their proxies to kill people, so I don't really care.
Oh, okay. I mean, so is Israel, but
again, you're not going to get me to sit here and say I think Israel's fucking right or wrong.
Well, what I'm going to do is get you to sit here and say that their arguments are completely hypocritical.
Israel's arguments? Absolutely.
Yes, and they're the arguments we're basing all of this on.
No, do you think okay.
This is a war for Israel. Americans have died in this for Israel. It is in Israel. No, it is in Israel's interest before it is ever in our interest. And Americans have died not for America in this case, but for Israel. And I'm not a Zog guy. I'm not a person that says Israel's behind everything. But in this case, it is completely and 100% true.
Israel's behind everything. Gotcha. So
no, they are behind this war. This is in their best interest. It is not in our best interest. And by Marco Rubio's state, what we have seen is that they held us fucking hostage because they were going to attack Iran, which would make Iran, in retaliation, target our bases. And we made the calculation.
Have you ever stopped to think that maybe we want to fuck Iran up too for all the shit they've done to us?
I think that this is not the way to do it.
The question. Answer it just with a yes or a no. Please.
Well, it deserves much more than a yes or a no, but yes, we do not like the Iranian regime. Yes,
okay.
We don't.
So can two things, and now I'm just going to speed run this. Can two things be true? Can Israel be belligerent and fucking be aligned with us?
I don't think that should be true. No, I don't think. I think they've overstayed their welcome.
They've overstayed their welcome. That's not what I'm asking. Can Israel be belligerent and be aligned with our goals and our mission?
Okay, but when you say can, do you mean it's logically possible? Yeah, it's logically possible.
So why will you not entertain that logic?
Well, I do entertain that logic, and my response is that we should not have them as the ally that we have them as right now. We should not be as deferential to Israel as we have been and are being right now, in that we are currently fighting a war on their behalf that is more in interest of their security and their
Why do you think it's
safety
on their
that it
behalf?
is
Why do you think
because
it's on
they're
their
the
behalf?
only ones threatened by Iran, dude.
Oh, so Qatar's not threatened by Iran?
The
Dubai's
only
not threatened
reason
by
they
Iran?
are is because our bases are there and we are
Oh,
aligned with Israel.
the only reason that guy took that girl hostage is because he wanted $10 million in a helicopter. Got it.
You did not. That was non-responsive. That was non-responsive.
I'm mocking you because
I know it was
it's crazy.
non-responsive and it didn't
Is a
align to
response.
what I was saying.
It's a thought provoking response.
No,
Compare it to
it
any other
wasn't. It
logic.
was a thought. It was a thought terminating response. It was not responsive.
It was absolutely responsive, and I'll tell you how it was. Because in any other situation, you would not be up here saying, "Oh, fucking Iran is going out and fucking bombing indiscriminately because they're just threatened." Those aren't legitimate military targets. They're not doing
That's not what I
anything to
said.
further.
That's not what I said. I said that the extent that they are bombing these other countries in the Middle East is that we have bases there and we are aligned
Then
with
why aren't they bombing the
Israel.
bases? Why aren't they bombing the bases? Why are they
They
bombing
are.
the hotels?
Well, because okay, that was an order given because uh,
They're
according to
terrorists.
them, according to their intelligence, uh, United States soldiers have been told to leave the bases and go to the hotels.
But hold on, guys. Hold
Okay.
on.
So killing civilians indiscriminately is no longer
No,
an act of
I
war.
don't think it's okay. I don't think Iran's okay. I don't like Iran. I'm against the
So
war.
stop.
I can be against the war and also not like Iran. Can you hold two beliefs at once?
Yes, I can hold two beliefs at once, but I do not. I do not
Okay.
subscribe to the idea that you just get to bomb fucking residential facilities and airports. Why are they bombing the airport in Dubai?
To
There's
stop people from leaving,
why?
to
Why
kill
would
their
they need to stop?
to inflict consequences on
Oh, on civilian
on
populations?
on two militaries that are
What
waging a war
military is
against them.
operating out of the Dubai airport?
It's not, but they cannot fight a classical war against Israel and
Oh, so they
America.
have to be guerrilla terrorists.
They don't have to be. I'm not supporting it. I'm telling you what is going to happen and what is already happening and what you're
So
asking.
you're
Why are they
I'm
doing it? No,
and I'm asking.
Monty, shut the fuck up. You're saying why are they doing this? I say why, and then you're like, oh, so you support it? You believe it? You think it's good? No, I'm saying why it's happening. One of the big reasons why
And
I didn't support this whole conflict to begin with.
and that's my point, Sid. You're
No, it's
proving
not
my
your point.
you're proving my point for me that they are terrorists. And my point following that, you've just agreed with the fact that they're
Yeah.
terrorists because targeting civilians is terroristic activity, correct? And they're doing it because they're engaged in war, yada yada yada. So be
I
it.
hate the Iranian regime. I hate them. They're terrorists. They're the biggest sponsor of state sponsor of terrorism in the
So
world.
that
You know who else is?
justifies.
You know who else is engaged in terrorism? You know how many Iranian civilians have died at the hands of the United States and Israel here? Did you know that we bombed a school? I know you want to try to carry water for us
You
here,
you
but you're
literally
totally
okay.
wrong on that. You're
What
totally
proof do you
wrong
have
on
that we
that.
bombed a school? What proof do you have that we bombed a school?
The only thing refuting it are things that aren't geolocated. They're not approved. They're not
What?
like
So because we haven't disproven it, it makes it correct?
well, no, because the Iranian, well,
The
because
Iranians
it
who kill their civilians, we're going to take
they've
their
shown
word.
evidence.
What
It
evidence?
doesn't okay. They've shown the school.
The school that was fucking blown up. Cool. Where's the fucking tail fin of the Tomahawk missile that blew it up?
I don't know if it was a Tomahawk
Oh, it
missile or
doesn't
not, but
exist? So there's no proof.
I know I was watching yesterday, and you were trying to say that it was interceptors, and you were trying to cite this video that was not
I was not
geoconfirmed,
trying to
and
cite any video.
it was from a
I
different
literally was not trying
location
to cite any
completely,
video.
and set
What
fucking
video did I
blow
cite?
set
What video
set
did I
blew
cite?
your ass up by saying
What
that couldn't
video
even
did
have
I
been
cite?
Iran.
What video did I
You,
cite?
you were talking about seeing videos, and you were like,
I
oh,
wasn't talking
just
about
like
seeing videos.
you were yeah no
I
yeah
was
you said
using
just like we saw in Venezuela. We saw the interceptors go up and then come back down. It's just like that. They're the same interceptors.
no, I literally did not. I did not
You
say they're the same
literally
interceptor.
did.
I
Literally
used that
did.
as an example of the generalization of how interceptors work. I did not cite
Okay,
that as any video.
based
I
on
did not cite a single video.
based on all the information we have right now, it is ultimately the most likely scenario is the United States or Israel hit the school. I'm not saying they
Based off of
targeted it.
what proof? What
And
proof? What
Marco
proof?
Rubio,
You
Marco
have no
Rubio,
proof.
Marco Rubio couldn't even deny it. He had to say we would never target them. That is very specific language meant to elicit, okay, we wouldn't target them, but the possibility and the likelihood that we hit them is very real. Otherwise, he would have said there was no chance that was an Israeli or American missile that hit them.
Okay, bud. So
All
what
right.
proof do you have? Again, I'm going to press you on this. What proof do you have other than reporting of what state media, again, the terrorist state, is there that the United States or Israel bombed that school? I have given
Just,
theories, plausible theories based in
just
historical precedent
the
to the
okay.
opposite.
I have Marco Rubio's statements, which was not a denial. I have the geolocation, which was not
The
confirmed to be
geolocation of what? Of what?
or
What does
geo
geolocation
confirmation.
do?
Oh, well, the geo
Geo,
confirmation was of the what was it? The location of the school and the location of the misfired missile.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that doesn't, just because a bunch of fucking hacks on Twitter go and say something does not mean that that's what happened.
it's not a bunch of hacks. They are very consistent. They're very accurate.
Yeah.
They're
Geo
very accurate when they're
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. Geo confirmation is very accurate.
I'm not talking about the geo confirmation. You're trying to put a red herring in that I have never stated and said
You
can
just
back me up on this.
asked. You
I
just asked about geo confirmation. You just asked about it.
Because you're talking about something that I'm not talking about, and I said, what does geolocation do?
No, no, no. You said you asked what my
Listen.
evidence was. I started listing it, and then you started
What does
interrupting me while I
geolocation
was listing
prove?
it.
What does geolocation prove? That a school got
It
bombed, right? Does it
it,
prove
it
America
proves
did it? Does it
it
prove
proves it
America
it
did it?
it proves Iran didn't. It proves
No,
it
it
is
didn't.
the
How
most
does that
likely
prove that
case.
Iran didn't do it? How does that prove
It,
that?
it proves that most likely it was not their interceptors that hit it.
How does that prove it? Please tell me about how a location image or a location data in an image of
Because
a
it's not just
fucking
the location,
tile.
it's the location of the bombing and the videos of the interceptors that were shown to be the ones that were allegedly the ones that hit it. It would have been
Has the
impossible for
United
them to
States
have
pushed
hit it.
that has the United States pushed that video out? Or has a bunch of people on Twitter trying to fucking come up with a conclusion pushed that out?
Push what?
Have I
What
cited that
video?
video? Have I
Was it
cited that video?
I think that is the
So
video you're
stop
most likely
using it as an
referring to.
argument. It's not my argument.
I think that was the video you're most likely referring to when you
No,
said
I
you saw
wasn't referring to
interceptors go
any
down.
video. I was referring to how surface to air fucking interceptors work.
Okay, I think that was the video you're most likely referring to when you were
I haven't even seen the video that you're talking about.
when you were referencing
I've seen a
interceptors
still image
go
of
back
it.
down.
No, all right, guys. Now, we can actually get into this debate a little bit later. I can give you guys some time to gather evidence and all that. I'll even do my
There
part.
is no evidence to
Well,
gather.
wait,
I have
Set.
looked
No,
for the
honestly,
evidence.
because look, I already went through the entire situation, and both of you guys, I mean, look, like Monty's right, and you're kind of right, Sid, because like there is no proof that America struck that school. But guess
he's
what? There's
asserting
also
it.
no proof that Iran struck the school. But then here's the problem. On X, a lot of people try to come out with a couple pictures saying that, oh, this is the malfunction missile that dropped
So
on the schools.
don't group
But
me into the people
you're
on X.
You're right. Now, this is where we can't group Monty into this. People out on Twitter were posting videos and pictures saying that that was the missile that struck the school, when geolocation confirmed that the school and the malfunction missile were in like, what was it? They were like 13 kilometers apart.
Yeah, and I haven't used that as evidence of my claim. I have presented a theory. I have presented a theory. I have not asserted a claim like you're doing.
Here's what I'm saying, Monty. I'm not just asserting it, but here's my nuanced take. I think, based on what I've seen so far, and take that with a grain of salt, obviously, but I think that it is most likely that the missile that struck the school was either an Israeli or American missile.
So
based on what I've seen so far, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's 100%
now tell
proven.
me what you've seen so far that leads you to that conclusion, other than the Iranian state media saying so, because that's what everybody's citing right now.
Well, the timing of when it was hit was
The
when
timing.
we were conducting our biggest strikes. When they were trying to say the interceptors hit it, it wasn't the interceptors around any of that area. The
So has the
video,
United States military come out and said that this video right here is conclusive proof that Iran has shot that school?
No.
no,
And has
then
that
that's
been
that.
disproven? So you're
No,
wrong.
No,
that's
but here's
another.
what Sid is trying to bring. He's trying to bring up the fact that there was time marks that were brought up for the strike and for the retaliation. And I remember the strike, like when the school got bombed, it was around 10 a.m. Iran didn't start retaliate from the strikes that the U.S. and Israel imposed on it until like 2 hours later,
So
and that was the
Seth,
first missiles coming out of Iran.
so using hold on, it's my turn, Sid. You've talked enough. You said your point. Now it's my turn. Iran has there is a difference between retaliating and using defensive surface-to-air missiles as interceptors. There is a difference. You just because fucking the strike started at this time and Iran started shooting back at this time doesn't mean that fucking they can't send up fucking interceptors that suck, that have a history of friendly fire accidents. So you have to look at what's the most plausible and most fucking likely outcome with deference to the fucking country you live in, first of all. And fucking
No. I don't think
No,
that's
that's
the
the
most
thing. Like
likely.
even Iran, no, even their interceptors, none of that went off until 2 hours after the strike.
so
That's
we
why
just
it's impossible for Iran to be the ones to bomb that school.
that okay. If you nothing happened until 2 hours after. So
And Monty, here's the other thing. You
90
didn't let me
minutes
finish
exactly.
giving my reasons. You don't let me finish giving my reasons, Monty. But another good reason I think I have is that the United States and Israel have not come out and denied it at all. And
Well, hold on.
the
Hold on.
and what?
Now we denied it, but Israel. We
No,
denied it,
no,
but
we
Israel
didn't
said
deny it.
that.
Set. We didn't deny it. I'm sorry. I have to jump in here because we did not deny it. Marco Rubio chose his words very carefully. He said we would not target a school. He didn't say we did not hit that school. I hope we can all recognize the difference in that language there.
You're right, but he did say, as far as he's concerned, we didn't hit it, and we're still waiting for independent verification.
Yeah, which is not going to happen while we're waging a war against them. But here's
you know
the
how
thing.
easy it would be to prove that we did it? Some Iranian, and they haven't even tried to do this. Some Iranian could go and fucking get some shrapnel because there will be shrapnel and fucking tie it to an American or Israeli missile. That hasn't happened. Why are you so quick? What interest would we have or Israel have in bombing a school? Please tell me.
I don't think we purposely targeted the school.
We just accidentally did it.
I think I think that it would for the most part be an accidental thing unless Israel did it because they are fans of targeting children.
Schools,
So
hospitals.
What incentive would we have or would Israel have to target a school? I want you to work through this with me.
did you
Because
just hear? Did you hear what I just said, Monty? Did you hear what I
the
just said?
first thing you said when you came on here and brought this subject up was we just went and bombed a school.
That's not the first thing I said. That was well into the conversation about this. But also,
Yes,
did you
that
hear what I
this
just said?
conversation has evolved
I
from that
don't,
statement.
I don't think that the United States would just target a school just because. I don't think that.
Okay.
All right, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
No.
We're gonna go ahead and.
I need to flush this out, Set, because he's gonna fucking take this as some victory, and he's fucking ignorant. So
Yeah, but I know we've been spending like what 10 minutes at least.
that's the point of a debate is to flush things out.
Yeah, but
And come on, Seth, why'd you say yeah there? Like yeah, I'm gonna
get to the video.
Don't take it as a yeah. Okay, whatever. I'm down to get to the video. I'm down. I'm not gonna do a victory lap. Whatever.
But God damn it, Sid, bro.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's literally
the
whole point of this, and literally he's going to argue with absolutely no fact and no proof on his side, which is fine. Whatever. I'm doing the same thing, but I'm fucking providing many examples of where the same thing has happened, and they use it for their own propaganda to sway people who aren't willing to have any other narrative other than the United States and Israel is bad, and it's working. And this is why it has to be flushed out, because this idea that we would target a school, that we would miss by 600 yards. The fucking area of effect and the fucking area of accuracy of a Tomahawk missile is fucking 6 yards. 18
How do you know
feet
it's
in
a
either direction.
It doesn't have to be a tomahawk.
But all right. Let's get back to it. Shout out to my man
that's
Daniel
what was
Castro,
being fired, Sid.
Because shout out to Daniel Castro. He says I won the bet 10 minutes in because Sid raised his voice for like a good couple seconds there.
Well, I'm glad to give him money, but or win him money. But Monty, again, you keep mischaracterizing me. I've never said we went in and targeted a school. Find me where I said in real time. In real time, you want to mischaracterize me and say things I didn't say. I know we've had back and forths about you bringing up stuff I didn't say.
We have now targeted a school.
I said we have now hit a school. Yeah, we did. In my opinion. You didn't put
any preface on accidentally. You said we hit a school. That implies duplicity.
Well, now I have like 5 times.
And I'm telling you that even your fucking assertion that it could have been an accident is completely preposterous. Because I know what the fucking capabilities of those fucking weapon systems are.
Here's what I will say.
I fucking work on them.
I don't think it is beyond Israel to actually target a school. That's what I will say. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But the evidence that I've seen so far.
What evidence have you seen?
I've told you we're gonna loop. Have I not given any reasons for why I think this?
You haven't provided any evidence that Israel or the United States hit that school. That those munitions that are in that school right now are from Israel or the United States. You have not provided any proof of that, but you're making the claim.
Okay, are you saying proof or evidence? Because I think I provided evidence. I don't have proof because I'm in fucking Montana and I'm not in Tehran. No, they are not synonymous.
Think about like this, Monty.
They're not synonymous.
You're kind of using past examples of Iran and all that good stuff. He's using past examples of Israel to say there and be like, yeah, they could have bombed that school due to their past actions.
Like, that's not the only thing that's not the only reason I've given.
What's not fine to say is without proof or without any evidence that the United States or Israel bombed a school. And you said it indiscriminately, duplicitously, as if we did it on purpose.
The evidence is there's no way, or it seems like it's extremely unlikely, to be careful with my words, that could have been an interceptor. Me and Set also went through this with you, giving the timing. The people that have tried to claim it were completely debunked by geoconfirmation. It happened at the exact same time of our opening salvo. The United States is unwilling to deny it. Israel is unwilling to deny that. All this paints a story. All these are pieces of evidence. There is no smoking gun. There is no smoking gun proof.
There's no proof.
Now, Sid,
you can say there's evidence without saying there's proof.
Now, there is one bit that Israel did say something, and what they said, it may piss you off, Sid, but they said we weren't operating in that area. So,
okay.
That's what Israel had to say. But all right, guys, let's get ahead into the next video here. Let's go ahead and start off at the Young Turks, because apparently got something to say. Netanyahu admits he had longed to attack Iran for 40 years. Well,
threats from Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israelis is what led to the United States carrying out the first strikes against Iran. In fact, Marco Rubio.
And shout out to Misfit Supervisor. It's always good to be here for Sid and Monty. Ain't that the truth?
Rubio says that there was absolutely an imminent threat, and it was that we knew that if Iran was attacked by Israel, and we believed that they would be attacked, they would immediately come after us, and we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow. In other words, Israel was going to attack, and if they did that, Iran was going to attack the United States. So we decided to attack first. That was the rationale. If you think that's a good reason to attack a country, and if you think that Israel is somehow an ally to the United States, hopefully you are as far away from making decisions about foreign policy as humanly possible. Now, let's check in with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who wrote on X, quote, "We are in a campaign in which we are bringing the full might of the IDF as never before to this battle to ensure our existence and our future. Mind you, we're talking about a country that has a clandestine nuclear program and is not in any way threatened. Its existence is not threatened in any way. He continues, but we are also bringing to this campaign the support of the United States, my friend, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and the US military. 6 of our soldiers have already died for Israel in this war. He continues, this combination of forces enables us to do what I have longed to do for 40 years, to strike the terrorist regime hip and thigh. That is what I promised, and that is what we will do. Speaking of the Israeli government, by the way, today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio did make that statement that I read to you earlier. I wanted to read you what he said. Now I want you to watch what he said. Take a look.
The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's 2 reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true, because in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act.
Like 9/11. Man.
Is that not exactly what I said when I was characterizing what Rubio said?
Statement twice. That time he fucking honed in on why we specifically attacked. Literally,
yeah, and why we specifically attacked was because they knew that Israel was going to attack, and if Israel attacked, that would bring consequences back on us.
Why don't
Set,
you want the first clip played?
Am I crazy here, Set? I'd have any clip played. I don't think either of them say what you think they're saying, Monty.
Why are you quoting that one specifically?
Well, because that's what he said.
After he said something else, and why don't you want that played?
Even in the first clip, he said if they were attacked, that they would attack us, and he said attacked by another country.
Apparently, we need to replay the clip. Can we please replay the clip so we can put this to bed? Because I'm tired of Sid fucking. Now you just played the Young Turks, which is going to fucking comment the same way fucking Sid just did. Can we please play it over?
Oh, you're the Marco Rubio?
Yes.
All right, no problem. Hold on now. Let me get it pulled up.
He continued to say, we knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we'd suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher than those killed. So let me just say,
we knew there would be an Israeli attack. We knew there would be an Israeli attack. He said that. He said that.
Yes, he said that after he talked about the reason in which we fucking did this whole fucking thing, and then recharacterized it when he was asked a question.
Because if we were attacked first, or if we attacked,
shut up until the first video plays. Shut up until
if someone attacked them first,
video plays. You beat your point home. It's not.
I've seen the first video. It is valid. It is.
It's all one video. It's the first. They're clipping it.
I've seen the entire Marco Rubio press conference.
Then can we please play it?
All right, we're going to play this again. All right, guys, we'll play it again, but I'm going to let you guys in about 5 minutes until we hear
I need to pause it specifically when I fucking get to my point. Is
there any way to just go exactly where Monty is?
Stop and let it play.
Is there any way to go exactly where Monty is saying so we can get through this?
No, we're gonna fucking play it from its fucking entirety.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio speaking on the Hill. Let's listen.
The United States conducted this operation with a very clear goal in mind. I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible. Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully. I'll leave it to the Pentagon and the Department of War to discuss the tactics behind that and the progress that's being made. That is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties.
Pause.
And so the president made the very...
All right, so hold on, let me go back real quick just to recapture.
Had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties.
Pause.
All right. Take it from there,
If we
Monty.
stood and waited for them to strike first, this is a preemptive strike. Obviously, Iran has not struck anybody. But if we stood and waited for them to attack us first before anybody attacks them, we would suffer what? Let it play?
Major casualties.
That attack to come
You guys, Monty, you are so wrong there.
We're gonna play this. We're gonna play.
Let me speak for a second. He is saying, oh my God, he is saying that he said we have great reason to believe that if Iran was striked by anybody, by America or Israel or anybody, that they would retaliate against America. Now he said the third point. The third point is if they strike us first, us and Israel, we would not be able to respond. Not meaning us and Israel. It's meaning if Israel struck them and then they struck us before we struck them and we waited for them to strike.
It's a totally separate point. Going into the larger point of what he said is why we're doing this in the first place. Not because Israel wants us to. Not because we're fighting a war for Israel.
He said that this is not going to be an order given from the top down. It's at all the commanders. All the commanders have this. If they are struck, they attack America. And if they attack America without America attacking them first, then America would suffer more casualties. It's very simple. And the only reason they would strike... Let me finish. I'm not done.
You said what you said. You've already said your dumb shit. Run it back, please.
No, I'm not done. Please, let me finish.
Run it back, please.
The only reason, according to what Marco's saying here, the only reason Iran would strike America is if they were struck. That is why he said they would... He said that is the
only reason Iran would strike America is if Israel struck Iran. That's not what
he said. That we had good reason to believe that if they were struck, then that they would attack America.
That's a separate point from the one he just made. Please run it back, S.E.T.
It's not a separate point at all.
It's literally point number 3. It's literally point number 3.
Huh, so I guess you two might be hearing two different things. Let's go back.
Please run it back.
The missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them...
If we stood
and waited for that attack to come first...
After Israel, you're playing it in isolation. The attack he's referencing is the attack from before, the attack that is preempted by Israel striking them first.
So why is he saying that if we were struck first?
Because if Israel struck them and we were not involved, then they would strike us first. So what had to happen is that we did it with Israel, because Israel was going to strike regardless.
Why would he say retaliate the same way he's been saying it then?
He does. He said if they strike us first, because in a context where we don't strike them, but a different country does, and that motivates them to.
He would have said that if he meant it.
He did. He said. Monty, he said that they would strike us even if we didn't strike them. If Israel struck them and we weren't involved, they would still strike us. So if that happened, if Israel struck them and we were not involved, they would still strike us. And in that, that is what he is saying.
Did he
That
say
is
that?
what. That is literally what he is
Did those
saying.
words come out of his mouth, or did he say,
Yes.
if we were struck
I mean,
first,
not verbatim, but
us
that
and our allies?
you are being so myopic. You are being so myopic.
No, I'm
It's
being
ridiculous.
fucking factual
It is.
and fucking demanding you to fucking see what it is. Run it back, please, Set.
If you go back to the 2 and 3, the attack he is referencing is an attack in a context where Iran has been struck. And
No,
since
it's not. It's literally point number 3, a separate point. A separate point.
Okay.
All right, so hold on.
Okay, Monty.
For these 3 reasons. And all of these 3 reasons are met.
Hold on now. I really want to give y'all guys the opportunity to yell out y'all arguments, but what's the prompt here? Like, what's the main disagreement? Like what Rubio was saying, or is it like, are we in a war for Israel or our own
He's
interest?
trying to paraphrase it all together to come to a conclusion without him saying it. He said he basically said it. No, he didn't. He said if we were attacked first, we means our allies as well. If we were attacked first, we could not sustain to fight them back.
No, that's not what he said. Monty, or not Monty.
Literally what he said.
Can I say what my claim is instead of Monty? Like,
go ahead. What's your claim?
Okay, my claim is that Rubio is saying right here that if Iran were to be attacked by Israel, that Iran in retaliation would start by attacking all of our air bases, all of our bases in the region. And he even says, and we see that play out now, he even says
then he moves
that
on
we're watching that happen. And he says we have reason to believe that would happen. That meaning Israel striking Iran. So my claim is that Israel, in some part, strong-armed us in a little bit of a way, saying, hey, we're going to strike them with or without you. And if we do it without you, they're going to hit you anyway. And if you're not involved in it, you are going to face more deaths and more casualties. I don't think there's a better. I think that is what he's saying. That's why I'm saying it. That's why I'm saying.
He say those words? Why didn't he say it the
because
way you're eloquently explaining it?
He's not me. He said it in his way, but I think that's what he's saying. I don't think it's that
his way.
Monty.
The foreign policy expert knows less than Sid.
No, I'm not saying he knows less than me. I'm saying he didn't say it in the exact words I'm saying, but I'm saying the same thing he said. And
no, you're
I think I kind of think you're on an island here, and most people agree that what he's saying is pretty simple. Is that Iran has this policy of, it's kind of like the Israel Samson policy, is if they are hit, it doesn't even have to be by America. They will go after America. They will go after regional partners, and they will make this a regional conflict. And we would suffer more.
My second point: Iran is a terrorist organization that will target people indiscriminately, whether or not they're actually attacked or not. Congratulations, you lost.
No,
you lost.
Now
you won, but you lost.
You're moving the claim. You're moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not.
We haven't even agreed.
The whole time is that there are a bunch of terrorists.
You're trying to act like you tricked me into saying something I never said.
You said it yourself.
No, you're trying to act like you're saying, "Oh, your beloved Iran, they actually are terrorists." I've admitted that from the beginning. We were talking about a specific claim that Rubio is making,
and I've already debunked that.
No. Why did you just say one? Why did you just say one? But I lost.
You lost.
Okay.
You did lose.
Okay.
I've played it 3 times now. He wouldn't have said it.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and play it back for the guys in the chat, because they're even wanting me to play it back because now they're kerfuffled on what they really heard thanks to you too. So let's go ahead and play that back.
Can I make one request at the end of this set?
Sure. All right.
Could you give your opinion at the very end of this, because I am curious.
On what Marco Rubio was saying? Sure.
Yeah, on the debate that's happening, what he said. Yeah.
All right, gotcha. And shout out to Brenzy G. All right, so shout out to her. She said this guy is making up what he wants. Boot him. I mean, I'm not sure which guy, but damn. All right. All right, let's get right back into it.
And the threat posed by their neighbor is possible, perhaps, with a very clear goal in mind. I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible. Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully.
Now pause. Pause. I want to make a separate point now too.
Hold on, Monty. We gotta stick to this one. Everybody still wants to hear the whole play out, and everybody's
that's cool. That's cool. But Sid also asked, why are we doing this? And there's answer 1 and 2. We want to take out their fucking missile capability and their threat to naval assets. I wonder whose naval assets those are. I wonder how much of a war for Israel this is if we're trying to protect our Navy. Continue.
All right.
Tactics behind that and the progress that's being made, that is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's 2 reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned.
Okay, now pause.
Hold on.
That if we stood and waited for that attack to come first.
Monty, can we at least hear it all the way through?
I'm trying to lay out my point, and fucking Sid has done nothing but talk and fucking throw ad hominems. So I would like the fucking chance to fucking delegate out what I am trying to say. Now, if
you're trying to manipulate and not let the full clip play. You're trying to manipulate, not let the full clip play, be bad faith, insert your own narrative. We get it. It's very blatant. It's very clear. Go ahead.
Yep. And as you were, fucking someone that has no fucking argument always throws ad hominems. Anyway.
No, I've made an argument.
No, you haven't.
That aren't just ad hominem.
My point, I'm trying to address your argument because it needs to be done in real time. Otherwise, your fucking short squirrel brain doesn't fucking pay attention.
We were all trying to watch the whole video. We were all trying to watch the whole video without it being interrupted, but you keep shoehorning your way in.
Yeah, I'm allowed to do that. I'm a fucking host. Shut up and fucking sit in the back. Okay? Fucking, so, to Sid's point, everything Marco Rubio said is what's being fucking blasted all over the fucking internet, and fucking, he's quoting. He is not wrong about what he is saying in the second point. Now, let's get to the third point, a completely fucking separate point that it got its own bullet point.
The third point where he says that attack, referring to the attack that he described in the second point.
Did he say that attack? Let's
he said
hear
if
he
he said if
Let's
that
hear it.
okay.
You want to let it play? Let it play.
Now, second point was that if Iran is attacked by anyone, they was gonna attack them.
Which is a separate point from the next one he's about to make.
All right.
The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision.
All right, if we waited, we'd took higher casualties.
Here's the Monty or Set. Here's the thing that I think he's saying. That attack would second point. The attack would come on the premise of Iran being struck by anyone. Third point.
Why didn't he say why didn't he say that if that's what he meant?
He said no, he said it's delegated down to the field commanders. It's not at the top of the top. It would just happen anyway if they were struck by anyone. And then he says, and if that attack happened without us being involved, we would suffer more death and more casualties.
Did he say without us being involved?
Yes, he if you play the if you play the rest of the third clip, I'm pretty sure he says that we had good information that Israel was going to attack. So that is the whole thing that this is premised on. It is premised on them being attacked. The next step The next step being them attacking in response. So he's saying we wanted to be ready
So if they were
when they
attacking in
attack.
response, why didn't he say attack in response? Why did he say attack us first?
Because attacking us. Okay, do you agree that let's say it is this scenario: Israel attacks, we're not involved, but the Iranian response to that, like he is stating here, is to attack our bases. We were not
Why didn't
involved
he
in
say the
Israel.
Iranian attack? Why did he say the response? Why did he
Can,
say the Iranian
can you
attack?
can you let me say this for a
Answer the
minute and tell me if this
question.
is completely off base? Okay, let's say Israel attacks, right? The next step for Iran would be to not only retaliate against Israel, but
He
also
already addressed
strike,
that. He already addressed that.
but also strike U.S. bases. So Israel attacks alone. We are being attacked first by Iran in that scenario. So he is saying this scenario is preferred where Israel attacks and we attack with them, so we are not being attacked first. Is that incoherent to you?
Israel is our ally, so when you speak about a joint
That's not the
operation,
question.
no, I'm answering the question. Shut the fuck up and listen. If you want an answer,
Yeah,
listen. If you
my
don't want an
my
answer and you just want to ram your fucking mouth, fucking keep doing it.
my question wasn't
If you
is
don't want an
Israel our
answer,
ally?
if you
My
don't
question
want an
wasn't
answer, keep
is
talking.
Israel our
If
ally?
you don't want an answer, keep talking.
Let him answer.
My answer is, why wouldn't he say that?
My answer to that is I think he is saying. That's why I'm saying that that's what he's saying.
If he is saying that, why didn't he say the response? Why did he say the first attack would come from Iran?
I'm trying to describe it to someone with 50 IQ, so I kind of have to dumb it
Hold
down a
on.
little bit.
Okay,
Did he
so
say
ad
that the first
hominems
strike will
are
come
the
from?
great sign of a loser. Congratulations, you've lost.
All right. Well, if I can just go ahead and give my opinion, and then we'll go ahead and get right back into the coverage. I believe we got all we wanted out of this one. But if I can just give what I think about it. Now, one, he said to eliminate the missile threat and protect our naval assets. Now, remember, and also he said Iran will attack. If they're attacked by anyone, then they were going to attack everybody. So he did admit to saying that, yeah, if we didn't follow up with Israel, then we were going to get blindsided. We were going to be left open.
Yes, he did say
Monty,
that.
don't agree with that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's literally, okay, he's giving 3 reasons as to why it's attacked. Reason number 1, we want to protect our assets because they're under threat. Reason number 2, if Israel this is the fucking reason we're doing this right now, is reason number 2. Can you quit fucking breathing into your mic? You fucking mouth breather?
That wasn't me that made that noise, but okay.
The reason number 2 is the fucking reason that all of this is transpiring. If fucking Israel attacks Iran, then Iran will attack everybody. That is reason number 2. That is the reason.
You said that's why we're doing it?
Oh my fucking God.
You said reason number 2. This is the reason we're doing it. So you're admitting that the reason we're doing it is because Israel was going to strike them and they were going to retaliate against us. Israel is deciding whether or not we are in a war.
Why are you so good at talking and not good at listening?
I'm good at both.
Then shut up and use one more than the other. It's a fucking good character trait.
I used the words you used against you, so I know that's frustrating.
You didn't. You put a red herring in the argument. My point is there are 3 reasons for this attack. Reason number 1, to protect naval assets. Reason number 2, because fucking Israel was going to strike. Reason number 3, it would have happened. Fucking, we wanted to do this because if Iran strikes us first, there's a new reason as to why we want to do this. If Iran strikes us first, it goes to reason number 2. If Iran strikes us first, we will suffer insurmountable casualties that we can't fucking respond to.
But the whole context of them striking us first would be in the context of them being struck first, which is what he laid out. Which is what he laid out in reason 2.
You're adding extra words into the statement that he made.
No, I'm taking his full reasoning and context.
They're 3 different points. You can't.
They aren't. He's saying that if we were struck first, if we were not involved with Israel strikes, and Israel struck without us, then we would be struck in response. And if we weren't involved with that, and we weren't ready and being involved and striking them, then we would lose more if we just waited for Israel to strike and then Iran to strike us. That's what he's saying. This is not controversial.
Why didn't he say that? Why didn't he sum it up like that then?
That is what he's saying, dude. He
Why
didn't
did
sum
he
it
make
up like that because it looks really
totally separate point.
here, Monty, because it looks really bad to say, "Hey, Americans, you don't decide whether you go to war or not. Israel does." That's why he didn't say it like that.
Oh.
That's why he used all this flowery language and had bad faith actors grab a hold of it like you and try to play semantics when you're the only one. You're on an island on this. You're one of the only people I've ever seen being like, that's a totally different and separate point. Okay, if it's totally indifferent and separate
point, didn't it?
Why didn't he say if Iran? Okay, if it's totally different and separate, why didn't he say if Iran strikes, does a premeditated attack on us without being attacked first? Why did he refer to it as that attack?
Because
that attack referring to what he described in the referring to what he described in the fucking second bullet point. That's why he said that attack, because we're all following along and we all speak English.
That would be a sub bullet point, not a separate bullet point. That's how conversation.